Hello and welcome. I'm happy to share some interesting stories from around the world with you. For a very long time, scientists thought that as we get older, our bodies naturally develop a kind of constant, low-level swelling inside. They even gave it a name, inflammaging, which is a mix of the words inflammation and aging. But new research suggests this might not be a natural part of getting old for everyone. Instead, it might be caused by the way we live in modern, industrialized countries. A team of scientists looked at people in 4 different places. In Italy and Singapore, which are modern places, they found that as people got older, this internal swelling did increase and was linked to health problems. But then they looked at 2 other groups who live more traditional, non-industrialized lives in Bolivia and Malaysia. In these groups, older people did not have this same pattern of swelling. Their bodies only showed swelling when they had an actual infection, which is a normal, healthy response. This discovery is important because it challenges the old idea that this kind of swelling is just a normal part of aging. It seems our environment, like our food, how clean our surroundings are, and the germs we are exposed to, plays a big role in how our bodies age. A little tip on this topic is that inflammation isn't always bad. When you get a cut and it gets red and puffy, that's your body's way of healing itself. The problem is when this swelling is low but constant, which can be managed with healthy eating and exercise. Have you ever been told that eating cheese before bed can give you bad dreams? Well, a new study looked into this idea. Researchers studied over 1,000 students and found a link between eating dairy foods, especially cheese, close to bedtime and having nightmares. About 1/3 of the students who had frequent nightmares also ate dairy before sleep. The scientists think that eating dairy or other sweet foods late at night can sometimes bother your stomach while you sleep. This discomfort can disrupt your sleep, and when your sleep quality is poor, your dreams can become much more intense and scary. It shows that what we eat, and when we eat it, can have a real effect on how well we sleep and what we dream about. On the 1st of July, India celebrated National Doctors' Day. This special day honors the birthday and marks the death anniversary of a very famous doctor named Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy, who was also a leader in West Bengal. Leaders from all over India, including the Prime Minister, sent messages to thank all the doctors for their hard work and care, especially for all they did during the recent global health crisis. This year, the theme for the day was about taking care of the doctors themselves. The slogan, "Behind the mask, who will heal the healer," reminds us that doctors also face a lot of stress and tiredness, both physically and mentally. A leader in Delhi said this theme highlights the need for more support for doctors, like having more nurses and technical assistants to help them. This is important because helping doctors stay healthy allows them to better care for everyone else. Let's talk about space. China's space agency has shared the first amazing pictures taken by its new spacecraft, called Tianwen-2. The pictures show our Earth and the Moon from very far away, about 590,000 kilometers. Taking these photos and sending them back to Earth proved that the spacecraft's camera and communication system are working perfectly. This is a very important test for a long journey. The Tianwen-2 spacecraft is now more than 12 million kilometers from Earth and is heading towards a small asteroid. Its mission is to get close to the asteroid, collect a sample of its rocky surface, and then bring that sample all the way back to Earth for scientists to study. After that, it will travel even farther to study a comet. This is a very complex and long mission, lasting about a decade, and it will help us learn more about how our solar system was formed a long, long time ago. Here is some exciting news for space fans who use Netflix. The popular streaming service has made a deal with NASA, the American Space Agency. Soon, Netflix will show NASA's own channel, which is called NASA Plus. This means that hundreds of millions of people all over the world can easily watch amazing space content without any ads. You will be able to see live rocket launches, watch astronauts do spacewalks outside the International Space Station, get updates on missions, and even see live views of our beautiful planet from space. This new feature is expected to start on Netflix this summer. Now for a fascinating topic about computers and feelings. A study in Switzerland found that artificial intelligence, or AI, can be better than humans at tests that measure emotional intelligence. It can even create these tests better than people can. However, there's a catch. When scientists looked at several studies together, they found that people value emotional messages more when they believe a human wrote them. People often did not want to receive emotional support from a robot or chatbot. Interestingly, even if an AI wrote a very kind and empathetic message, people liked it much more if they were told it came from a person. This shows that we have a deep need for real, authentic connection with other humans. Experts worry that if we rely too much on AI for emotional support, like for therapy or companionship, we might end up with a kind of fake closeness that could harm our real human relationships. An Indian astronaut named Shubhanshu Shukla is currently in space aboard the International Space Station. On July 4th, he will do something very special. He will talk live with schoolchildren and engineers back in India using an amateur radio. This is a type of radio that hobbyists use to communicate over long distances. A special connection will be set up in Bengaluru, India, to make this call to space possible. As a general knowledge tip, the International Space Station is like a giant science lab that orbits our planet. Astronauts from many different countries live and work there together, conducting experiments in a unique, weightless environment. Get ready for an amazing story from the ocean. Scientists have discovered something incredible that wild killer whales, which are also known as orcas, are doing. For what might be the first time ever recorded, these giant predators have been seen trying to share their food with people. This has happened 34 times in 4 different oceans. The orcas have offered humans all sorts of things, from fish and seals to jellyfish and even seaweed. The researchers said that in almost every case, the whales would offer the food and then wait to see how the person would react. These huge, intelligent animals seem to be truly curious about us. These events were recorded over 20 years, from 2004 to 2024, in places like New Zealand, Norway, Mexico, and Argentina. The whales didn't just drop the food and leave. They waited for a response, sometimes for up to 5 minutes. Most of the time, people ignored the food. When that happened, the orca would usually take its food back and swim away, or maybe try to offer it again. But in the few times that people did accept the food and tossed it back, the whales would immediately offer it again, almost like they were trying to play a game of catch. One time, whales and researchers passed a dead seabird back and forth, creating an interaction that looked a lot like a conversation. Thank you for listening and learning with me today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.